Two chances to get it in here. Prescott looking in zone. That one's picked off. On third down, Prescott trying to come underneath. And he's picked. Intercepted by Melifonwu. 2nd and 2 here, though. Here's Prescott over the middle. It's going to be picked off. And no one in front of him.
Dak Prescott right now is on the final year of his contract, and all the reports are coming out they are not signing an extension.
It has in fact happened. 4 years, $240 million contract extension.
How are you handling all the attention, Ben, that's come with not only you personally, but this relationship?
Well, it's a little crazy, and it's a little bit more, I think, than either of us anticipated, but it's all, basically good.
Ben and I, we broke up 3 days before our wedding.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are reportedly married again.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us.
Biden reaching the 270 electoral votes needed with a win in the state where he was born.
The first time Vice President Harris and former President Trump met face to face was right here on this debate stage.
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means. You know, we just say them as if they really made sense. I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What the f*** is he talking about?
That extra sip for the roll in. What's good, y'all? You know what it is. You know who it is. It's with me, Mario, and welcome to the Appraised the Phrase Show, Origins of Everyday Expressions, where we're here to do 3 things: unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of common everyday phrases. Got my dog in the building. 20, what's good with you, bro?
Nah, no pressure, man. What's good with you, man? It was an eventful weekend, man. Not the timestamp, but I got to talk about it because it's the life. My brother is having another kid, so we did like a really nice little gender reveal this weekend for him. So everything's good, man. I can't complain, man. It's like a circle of life, man. I had someone in my family definitely, pass away. So now that we know that, we have another, we didn't knew it happening, but just like kind of like getting that full circle of life coming through, man. It was actually like a little bit of a lift too as well. So.
Heard that, man. Always condolences. In real life, we brothers. Always, without, publicly, I'm going to say it. Didn't get no photos, no pictures to come through, so you must have been busy.
Yeah, you know me. I'm not bro, listen.
I'm not. I just said. I'm busy and you're busy, bro.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
How was your, if you don't mind me hitting it right back across, how was your weekend, brother?
No, the weekend was smooth, man. The weekend was smooth. Had nice Saturday weather. Hit the museums. Built some things with my little guy. What else we did? Oh, I used my campfire, like a little fire pit in my backyard, dog. Used that joint. Fall.
He's out there bringing s'mores, man. You was s'more.
We not gonna build no campfire, make no fire without a marshmallow involved. There's really no.
Without a marshmallow.
Why do I do that?
That's awesome, man. Let's do it.
My dog, man. Let's get into the app. Whoa, today. So I got somebody in the building that. So let me take one step back. I be slandering Twitter, X if they suing. But if you run the tapes back, somebody in the court of law will be able to be like, you kind of rock with Twitter. Because every now and then you pull people out that like are dope people. You seek them out. So this is another one of those opportunities for us to shout out, get with, connect with, hear from one of the dope users of Twitter. But they're bigger than that. They're bigger than the box and 280 characters plus if you're paying. So let's not waste no time. Let's introduce my man, Kar Logan. He is a filmmaker, actor, comedian. When he want to be. What's good, big dog?
Man, what's up, man? Mario 20, thanks for having me on board, man. I appreciate it. I'm really excited to be on here. Like I mentioned earlier, y'all reached out to me, and I was like, me? Oh, yeah, because... And not even just that, like I feel like a lot of people these days are excited and to be on a podcast or any podcast just because it's like visibility or this and that. But like, I generally like what y'all doing with the praise the phrase. I think it's such a dope concept of like, because you don't realize how much we do just echo stuff without even knowing where it comes from.
Yeah.
And I think the time and stuff that y'all do, the time that y'all take to like actually like break down stuff, I think it's just unique and different, and it's a fun thing that I'm down to be a part of. So I'm glad that I got to join in the conversation with you too, and you talking about you follow me on there and like one of the dope people. I generally feel the same way about you, so that's cool. I'm glad we got to chop it up on here.
My dog, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. The people, they bought their tickets. They happy to be here. We got to kind of settle them down. Hold on, sit down, y'all. Sit down. We got a show to do. All right, man. So appreciate you, big dog. This is another show where I tell the audience, I tell people that I talk to, when we have a guest that brings a phrase that they're locked in on or they're curious about, it elevates the episode. So I'm excited about this one. I got to do the research, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. For the nerd in me, dog, I'm like, yeah. So without further ado, let's unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Okay, so now.
Something about that phrase.
Man, something about it. We mentioning this guy twice in one season.
Yo, he's good.
I do think that's another reason why I brought that up too. I did see when y'all was talking about that one, and I think that's the first thing that clipped in my head, where I was like, well, that is, we do use the devil a lot in our things.
Nigga be in there.
Yeah. He be up in there, bro. He be up in there.
He be in there. Dog, 20, talk to me real quick. What's your connection with better the devil you know than the devil you don't?
Honestly, I'm mad that this is the first time I'm hearing it. To be honest with you. Yeah. No. Honestly, I can't recall hearing it. It sounds familiar. Maybe it's because of the way it is worded. You know what I mean? Like it gives more of a comfort, like comfort listening.
Yep.
If I could say it like that, not actual words, but hearing it, it sounds familiar. It sounds comforting. It sounds like someone else. Sounds like something you've heard as a child.
Yep.
It just sounds like that. So I can't really put any kind of like finger on, a exact moment where I've heard it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what this means, or I have an assumption on what this means, but like, it sounds smooth, man. It sounds like something I would use. So I'm really excited on seeing, you know what I mean? Like finding an origin and a definition and you know what I'm saying? And praising it. Because it actually sounds pretty, I don't know why, but it sounds pretty dope, though. Like
it does, don't it?
I'm trying to beat around the bush. I ain't gonna lie, because of the word devil, I'm trying to beat around the bush so people like, oh, this nigga right here. But no, dude, like, it sounds dope, bro. Like I can really, from my interpretation, I feel like I can insert it in my life more than once. So
yeah.
I'm excited, bro.
Heard that. Oh, not that one. Nope.
And that's all I had to say.
There it is. There's Forrest. Oh, Kar, talk to me, dog.
What's up?
What's your connection with it, man? Why did you bring it? How you feel about it?
It's so weird because I feel like, just like how you were saying, 20, it was like, this sounds like a phrase that I should have heard before growing up, or something that I feel like maybe it has been spoken, but it probably went in one ear and out the other because it probably didn't apply to me at the time. But when I think about the actual phrase and what it always brings me back to, and this is me about to nerd out real quick, one of my favorite shows, Supernatural, they had an episode entitled The Devil You Know. And one thing about episode titles, you meet me as a writer, sometimes I like episode titles that reference like a book or a saying, because a lot of times they don't put the full saying in episode titles. They'll take a fraction of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even, you think this is a cool episode title. You realize, oh no, this actually comes from a whole saying, and then that saying kind of encompasses the entire thing about the episode.
Yeah. And
that particular episode being one of my favorites out of the 15-year run of the show, that one, it stuck to me because in that episode they had to work with a literal devil in order to get what they wanted. and it ended up working out for them. And it's weird because it shouldn't work. You working with the devil shouldn't work.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of factual things that will tell us that that does not work for us.
Yeah.
But like when you actually look at it, like in terms of what it can mean, you know, the devil could be an interpretation of so many other things. It could just be something that somebody you should not be talking to, something that you don't, or just somebody that's like bad for you. But would you rather put your stock into someone you don't know, where you don't know the outcome is going to be like, or would you rather do it where I know where this is going to go and I know how to set up like a contingency plan for this or something if it doesn't work out? And I think that thought process is what draws me to the saying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm the type of person that always like to be prepared. I always like to be prepared, have a way out of something. And that one sounds like a way out. Working with the devil, you know, sounds like a way out.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's cold because, I mean, I always get to cheat because I get to research it, but I didn't think about how it allows you to prepare for if it don't work. I didn't think about that. I thought I leaned towards, this is a way for you to just comfortably or find comfort in not changing and just dealing with the not change because you're comfortable enough, right? But I didn't think about how you can actually get active with like prepping, like, man, I know exactly how this person gonna move. I don't really like that, so I want to make sure. I like that. Word. Okay.
But even that, what you just said right there, I think that's a nice, interesting perspective of it too, because I may be also thinking in a more literal sense of incorporating someone who may be the representation of a devil.
Yeah.
While you're also just thinking of it doesn't need to. You're looking at it as like a noun, like person, place, or thing. You know, where going to this space, going to this location could be the devil, could be bad for me, but it is what it is. I'm ready to deal with it because I have prepped myself for this, I guess, or I'm familiar with it. So that's another way of looking at it too, in terms of, without actually giving it the embodiment of a person, but looking at it as other things. I think that's dope.
Hell yeah.
You know, honestly, funny you guys said that, Mario, because now it's like once you kind of like soften the load on the devil, and it's like, oh yeah, I'd rather work with, no Diddy, I'd rather work with this asshole because I know how he's is as opposed to working with an asshole I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I would rather work with this jerk as opposed to, working with this, So if you could kind of like put that in there, oh yeah, that's me all day.
That's me.
But
no, really, it's like I think a lot of us have probably been down that road where you're like, I don't want to deal with this person, but in order to get to X, Y, Z, I got to. Yeah. Or would you rather go? Would you venture into the unknown?
Right. Because we had a guy on our team. Anybody when growing up playing football that off of my high school team, there's this one guy on our team that we were like, yo, I'd rather play with him than against him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like maybe he was a problem in practice, or maybe it was just one of those situations where it's like, man, bro, this dude is just do too much. He just does too much. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to it on game day, it's like, what side of the line you rather have him on? You rather have him on the opposite line going against you, you rather have him going with you. And it's like, yeah, I'm taking him to battle, even though I might not take him to church, or I might not take him to dinner, or I might not do this. But if we go into battle, this is the person I'm going to battle.
That's the guy I'm riding with. I like it. Let's explore. Let's go with the definitions, man. So we got Merriam this week. That's one of them. The brand. It's a strong brand, too. Even though they lazy with it, it's a strong brand.
The brand is strong.
It's strong. Merriam-Webster, they got it on lock. If the dictionary don't say Merriam-Webster, a lot of people think it's not legit, and that's just not the truth. We found that out. They define this phrase as, it is better to deal with a difficult person or situation one knows than with a new person or situation that could be worse. Now, my high rising favorite dictionary, the Cambridge Dictionary, they define it as said when you think it is wiser to deal with someone or something familiar, although you do not like him, her, or it, than to deal with someone or something you do not know that might be worse. All right, I'm going to reverse the order, kind of, sort of. Car, between the two, what stands out? Differences, similarities? Which one you rocking with?
Definitely the Cambridge one. But I feel like both kind of encompass what that feeling is in terms of like choosing to rather deal with something familiar, and I think that's where like I'm aside with that definition. I feel like it encompasses it perfectly, but I don't know. There's some. I guess I'll cover it. There's something about the conversation that we were having earlier that just made me think about something right now, in perspective to the devil or to what that thing is or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I wonder, with the example that you just gave us, 20, or just any other example in general, does that make us? Damn, this might be a whole nother saying. I apologize if I'm segueing to something else, but I'm just like, does that allow us to find sympathy for the devil? Because we understand what, we understand, kind of like what you were just saying right there. You get the person, you get them a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So does that make you kind of understand where they're coming from a little bit more?
Like,
I wonder.
Compassion, it literally adds compassion immediately to, I'll put it this way, your devil. Mm-hmm. Like your devil, you have compassion. Familiarity maybe even breeds a level of compassion and understanding just because you know it enough to maneuver around it. I would say, yeah. I would actually go as far as to say, yeah, which if you said that without a lot of context, people would probably look at you crazy. To be honest, people would probably look at you wild. Like you
satanic panic in the building.
Exactly. Where you at with the 20, the definitions, and then like, yeah, what Kar said about where that puts the devil in terms of like, I don't want to say humanizing because I ain't gonna lead. Where you at with it?
Honestly, I would say I'm with Merriam Webster, man. Like, only because of I feel like I'm new to it, and that one helps me kind of gain a perspective of it. Just in general of taking down the devil, like taking the devil and what I feel like the devil is representing a peg or two, and just putting like, hey, people you don't like or something that you don't like, and having to use that to gain success or gain something positive, using a negative to get a positive, pretty much. And I would say this, I think it's different because like Kar brought up the show Supernatural, like they actually had to deal with the devil. like it's hard to kind of like put more of an emphasis on that when generally we really don't have to deal with it if that's not something you believe in, or that's what I'm saying, like to that extent. You know what I mean? Like people might feel the presence of evil or feel the presence of whatever the case may be, but the devil is not really showing up and saying, hey, let's get through this obstacle together.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like maybe it's a feeling, but as like the TV show, you're actually popped up. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
I would say this about that show. I didn't get all the way through to it, but I swear that show only
first
had
5 seasons is good.
I swear it had a 4-season, 5-season ceiling. And then all of a sudden, they got 10 more seasons out of it, bro. Like, once they do like the whole thing about the father and the mom and stuff like that, once they kind of settled that, I was like, oh, that's it. They ain't got nothing else. 10, 12 more seasons left. I was like, oh, what happened?
Was somebody over there, and I'm not mad, but somebody over at CW was just a huge Supernatural fan and said, I will keep renewing this as long as I want to. Meanwhile, the creator said, no, I only have 5 seasons in me, guys. I'm done. Said, no.
Yes, because it got to the point where one of them become supernatural. Like they were, like it was like, bro, it was. I could have sworn that ceiling for that show was 5 season tops, man. But
5 season tops, and then when it went on for 10 more years, I said, I gotta just stick with it just to see how it ends. It was a painful 10 years. I got some ups and some downs. Hey, but like I'm in it to win it. I needed to see it through.
Shout out. Hey, they got one. If nobody else, they got one to sit through the credits.
Shouts out to Supernatural for using the devil that they know. Because Lord knows they did that, man. Shout out to Supernatural. Because out of all the CW shows, who would have thought the fucking Supernatural would have gave you 15 of them things, bro?
I'm telling you, bro.
After a while.
After a while, you start.
All they got left is All American now.
That's all you got, and they also turning the corner.
And they scrub. But yeah, man, I think it's more like, just to kind of come back and not digress too much. Yeah, I think Merriam Webster got the definition that helps me understand this a little bit more, maybe towards the origin or maybe towards, just the overall praising of it. Mike, stick with Cambridge because I know that's your
my
shit,
dog,
Mario,
man. Them
but
people over there, they
right
right
now on a flat surface, I think Merriam got it.
All right, I ain't gonna argue with you. I like their opinions. I ain't gonna argue with you. Cambridge they were a little more typically they're wordier than Merriam. That's why I call them lazy. Merriam Webster, they must pay. They definitely pay by the hour, and they don't want to pay. They don't like overtime. Get in there, write a definition, get out. Cambridge over there really caring about it. So that's why I typically you feel what I'm saying? Like,
but that's why I say, man. Yeah, that's why I say for somebody who's just cut who's just scratching the surface, I feel like that's a little bit more of an easier appeal.
That's real.
Than actual Cambridge.
That's real. All right, man. Let's dive into the origin of this because y'all hitting some great points, and I want to connect these to where the hell it came from.
Where'd that come from?
Let's take it back to. We're actually going to go for a second back to the Greek and Latin times with no actual date, but we're going to reference them in the 16th century. So my guy from this season, Desiderius Erasmus, better known as Erasmus for the English folks. My dog Erasmus. Look him up. He was just in Rome Wasn't Built in a Day episode. Big dog to me. Big dog. It traces back to him in this Latin book of Adages called Adagia. And it was in Latin. And then Erasmus translated it. And then he began to just keep going all through the 16th century. And the exact translation from the Greek and Latin writing is an evil thing known is best, which that's a little different. An evil thing known is best. So the point of what Erasmus was doing was trying to bring out these adages from the Greek times and the Latin times to reflect and connect to the typical Renaissance attitude towards old texts. So pulling the best out of the wisdom so that they can use them to actually uphold and exalt authors and scholars. Like, hey, man, these are the people that during this Renaissance period, and we know the Renaissance is highlighted in and of itself, but hey, this is who we should be. You know what I'm saying? These writings and what they're saying and what these people wrote should be what we lean on, right? And one of those things in there was an evil thing known is best. Before I keep going, because I want to talk about my dog Erasmus a little more. 20. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you this though. Do you think that sits like closely to a bird in the hand?
So when I was doing the research, I was like, hey, is this a man, be cool, man, we're trying to go too far. Be cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Be cool with trying to go too far. You got what you know.
Bro.
You feel me?
I won't go too far because if I didn't have a praise the phrase, which shows every Tuesday on YouTube. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't know what bird in the hand is better than two in the bush would be. So it's like, yeah, that would have just slipped, you feel me? But I'm 2 seasons in, you feel me? Or watch it.
Real dog, real. No.
But you get what I'm saying.
I do. No, I think it does lend his hand to that to say like, as opposed, because we were talking about the way we were talking about, and Car, feel free to jump in. What we were talking about is like, hey man, the devil part is holding weight, whereas
the devil part is directing you.
Yeah,
it's definitely directing you.
Where the original idea comes from just an evil thing that you know is what's best. Fill in the blank, as opposed to the unknown in general. Not even the evil thing you might not know. Like fill it in. Be smart about it. Right. Where you at with that, Car?
I'm kind of glad you dug into that because I kind of like that a little bit more than the devil you know. Well, me personally, I like phrases that are kind of like short and to the point. as opposed to like a long like two sentences. And I know the devil you know kind of encompasses that right there, but that saying right there, what was it? Better evil you know than you don't.
Is an evil thing known is best.
An evil thing known is best. I think that right there just sums up like humanity in general, how we operate, because we always have a fear of the unknown.
Right.
It is common for us to be afraid of the unknown. So it's like, well, all right, if you're afraid of this thing, it's because you're aware of what it can do, and that may at least lessen it a little bit more for you. You know, because you'll be prepared. It's like when you get enough shots, like a baby's crying at the doctor because they ain't never get a shot before. They're like, "What are you doing? What do you bring this machine next to me for?" Blah blah blah. But after you did it so many times, you still hate needles, but you can brace yourself for the little threshold of pain a little bit.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Hey.
Wow. Yeah, man.
All right, my dog Erasmus. Now, connected to this phrase, I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not gonna let it go. He's been called a seminal rather than a consistent or systemic thinker. All right, so he's notably averse to overextending from the specific to the general. He does not like talking. His general mindset during his time was talking in generalities. He's not a specific type of guy. Okay, so that's why I think he wants to uplift, like an evil thing is known as best. Like, look, in general, dog, in general, you know what I'm saying? So he's a pastoral and rhetorical theologian, and he takes a historical approach. Now, he's a man of God, but he takes a historical approach over metaphysical, especially when interpreting the Bible. So he needed to be able to see it, touch it, feel it, and have it be practical. And a theologian wrote about Erasmus that his preparedness was completely to satisfy no one but himself. He's been called a moderately judicious and constructive, even when being critical or when mocking extremes. So he's like, look, I need it to make sense to me and me alone. I don't care. You can do your specific thing I need it to make sense to me and me alone. This dog. And it's just one of the things he came with. Everybody listening. I'm not on his payroll. I'm freely campaigning for Erasmus. Now, Kar, I'm going to ask you this. Using that mindset where like he actually captured the idea of the phrase, and during a time where he's like, look, satisfying oneself is all that really matters in terms of understanding wisdom. Is there any place where you thinking about yourself alone impacted your discernment? And then if so, how did that turn out? Where you were like, I'm focused only on me and how I feel about this. And how did that impact how you looked at a situation? And did that thing turn out all right?
Absolutely, man. Like, I think that's kind of like been my state for like the past, I don't know, maybe ever since like, I guess post-quarantine.
Yeah.
I've always had like a balance of listening to myself, only trusting my word, but having a combination of, I do need to hear other perspectives sometimes or whatever. But in my experience, when I hear those other perspectives, I rarely like them. You know what I mean? I really like other people's perspectives sometimes. Not that it's wrong or anything like that. But sometimes it's kind of like, much like your boy, it's like, I need it to make sense to me. I need this to, and what makes sense to me was kind of just like centering myself after a while at one point, where it's like, I'm the focal point. I'm not going to do this unless I want to do this or it makes sense to me. It can make sense to other people, but if I'm going to be left feeling empty outside of it, like, I mean, I'm glad everyone else saw a painting, but I'm still looking at a blank canvas for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna hit really. And so I relate to that so much.
Have you? I'm gonna follow it up. Have you in your filmmaking, your writing, like, have you run into something where people were like, it's done, and you're like, no, and you had to like stand on that, or the opposite, or anywhere in between?
I would say the opposite. Because a lot of times in my experience, when it comes to filming, so like me writing, I've come from a background of kind of creating my own series a lot of times. So I'm used to writing everything that's for me. I'm like, let me write my script. I've been writing since I was a kid. So I'm like, let me write my script. Let me write my story. I know how it's going to go from beginning, middle to end. A lot of times, and whatever I wrote is final. Like, I don't care for like anybody else's stuff. But as I've gotten older, I do realize that I do need to like collab and also hear other stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean I need to retain everything that's said to me, but I will at least create the space to hear somebody out. So in my experience like that with filmmaking and stuff, when I'm on someone else's project, a lot of the times is like, if they think it's final, then it's final. But like, I will like to go ahead and give something to it. But like for me, on my things, I'm like, nah, what I said was it.
Yep.
Like, I like what I wrote because it's for a reason. And a lot of times you realize that people aren't in your head, so they're not going to see it how you see it. You legitimately see things with a different lens. It makes sense to you. And sometimes just because it makes sense to you, and I got to be real too, just because it makes sense to you does not mean that it's right.
Right.
A lot of stuff can make sense to you, and that's just physically impossible, or that just makes no sense at all. And sometimes you do got to like take a step back and realize, can I tweak this? Can I commodify this a little bit? Can I fix this to make it like work for everybody? I guess. Like I always liken things. So when I'm over here doing something, it's like giving a Secret Santa gift. You want them, like you don't want them to know exactly it came from you, but you want to have your thing on the present, so they know like who wrote
that. Look like some. That look like some Kar Logan shit right there. Like that.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's real, man. I like that. That's hard. 20. How about you, dog? Anything where you're like, look, man, 20 gets it, don't matter. And how did it work out?
Man, I would say this, Mario. For a while, I was just, rolling to the beat of my own drum. I wouldn't say it didn't work out, but for that moment, I was, I guess, satisfied until I wasn't, and then I realized like the things that I wanted to do in life or how I wanted to finish out my life, it has to deal with people. Everything that I've come across have to deal with people. So I've had to train myself to, like you say, put people in spaces where I'm actually listening, put people in spaces where they feel that I have compassion for whatever it is that they have. I have empathy for whatever it is I have. And it's just taken me a while to kind of like transition from that, 20 say, 20 does, 20 goes by 20's rules type deals to like going back to a village. And I feel like now, more or less, the village is kind of prospering a little bit more because of, the things that I'm doing now with my family, with, this show. You know what I mean? Those things I don't think that I would enjoy as much if I just made it all about me. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to enjoy my family as much as I made it all about me. I definitely wouldn't be able to enjoy our business if I made it all about me too as well. So it's kind of like I had those moments in my life where I was like just about me. But now as I gotten to become an older man, I find more pleasure off of doing things with others and collaborating with others and understanding how other people feel as opposed to myself.
Heard that, man.
Do you miss it sometimes?
Yeah.
Every day. Every goddamn day.
I still miss it too, even with, I'm still working on collabing a lot too, but there's sometimes where I just be like, hey, no offense, but shut up and do what I say. Like,
every day, bro. Every car.
So here's my take on that. Which I respect that, but what both of you are saying, appreciate it. I'm like, to get to, and full disclosure, I'm on the opposite end of both of you on everything we said in terms of like experience, right? Like I dive into the unknown. I'm very weird about that. I be going to the devil.
Unknown is good. I love
all the time. Like, nigga, you don't know that devil. I be like, nigga, what he gonna do to me that another devil can do? That's how I feel in general. And then like I was so community based. Like, I think because I hate this saying and phrase, and we may never do it because of it's just going to be a straight up disdain episode. But at the end of the day, hate it. Whole 24 hours and we wait to the end. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what I think that I'm doing what I want mostly. Like concessions aside, I'm doing what the hell I want. Now, I will say that I think you do. I'm getting more me focused. I'm more me focused now than I was in the past. And that's helping things better, in my opinion. I think in the space that I sit in, it's like, for instance, with this show, like it's a very weird Mario niche thing that blossomed into a community thing. And although it's a community thing, for it to continue to move forward, like I nobody else can drive that weird niche thing that it started from. You feel what I'm saying? Like 20's impact is invaluable, but he'll tell me like, yo, like you have to tell me the vision. You have to share the vision so that I can rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna put my vision on it or over yours. So I have to like, okay, damn. I can't always be asking what's up to everybody and seeing what's up. I got to be like, man, this makes sense to me. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I've had to get better with that over time.
Yeah. It's weird. I've done backwards with that. I feel like I switch back and forth sometimes because I feel the whole thing of where you say you used to dive into the unknown. And people be like, you trust this person? You be like, yeah, you know, what's going to happen? Like, I know how to handle it. Like, I've been in that position, and I think that is why I am where I'm at now, where I'm like, let me just go ahead and just do it, because I have been too trusting or too inviting of a lot of people. And at the end of the day, I'm always going to invite people who still do stuff, but I think there was just a level of discernment that was missing.
I agree
with that.
That's
I think that's what it was.
Well, I mean, to kind of strengthen that too as well, like, I don't, and Mario can definitely detest this too as well. Like he knows when I say community or village, it's probably one or two people.
He said, "Oh no, my community is like, I ain't talking about the school."
It's probably like one or two people, dog. I'll be honest. I just want to be transparent with with everybody, with you, Car, with the audience.
He said, "I don't want to make it look like I got a whole coalition."
Exactly. Like I'm the one that's like, yo, listen, we should, we could work with this person, but it don't matter because we can do it by ourselves. Like that's what I tell them all the time. I'm like, dude. No problem. Bring them in. Let's see what they can do, how they can help us. If not, all right, whatever, nigga, because we can do it by ourselves. Like, ain't no pressure. So it's like one of those kind of moments where, I understand the importance on getting different minds in, but I only need probably one or two of them. Everything else is everything else is, you know what I'm saying?
Too many cooks in the kitchen is a thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. You're right. You're right.
Season 5, it would make sense. It would make sense that some type of culinary, because we haven't done culinary since season 2. I think we haven't had a culinary since season 2. But we've never done a 2 guest ep unless the guests were connected. So we're gonna bring Car back in season 5 to do 2 million chefs in the kitchen, and we're gonna bring a culinary motherfucker in this bitch, and we're gonna go anyway. All right.
I'm
my dog. All right, look, let's move to a little bit earlier in time to the 14th century. So we're going 16 backwards. Usually I go forward. We're going backwards because some say that the idea of this proverb intensified, because we know it came from the Greeks way, way, way. And then it got established by Erasmus and them in the Renaissance 16th century. But in the 14th century, in a place where people really don't pay attention, really, in Ireland and Scotland. Okay, Ireland and Scotland, 14th century. They say it came popular, the idea, from the time that King Edward the Bruce, who's the brother of Robert the Bruce, was in power. And Robert the Bruce was the King of Scots from 1306 to 1329. Robert, this is the older brother, led Scotland during the First War of the Scottish Independence against England, because that's what England does. He fought successfully during his reign to restore Scotland to an independent kingdom and is regarded in Scotland as a national hero. Until we get, because reality show booted up, but until we get that, I will not be in Scotland to verify if there's statues of this nigga Robert. I won't be there. Somebody from Scotland hit the comments and tell me if y'all really rock on Robert like that. Now, little brother,
ask Io Idaberry. You know, she's a member of Ireland.
I actually will. Now, little bro Ed, I'm gonna call him Ed because he gone. He can't do nothing about it. Ed supported his brother during the third. Huh?
Did you say little bro Ed?
That's Robert's little brother, Edward.
Oh, I thought this nigga's name was Little Bro. Like that's what they call a Little Bro Ed.
He's like, wasn't the Game of Thrones?
Exactly.
What name is Little Brother?
My bad, dog. But now.
No. It's perfect. It's perfect. It was perfect.
Edward Bruce, Earl of Carrick, supported his brother in 1306 to 1314 to help get that Scottish crown. and he pushed his own claims in Ireland. So while his brother was doing the Scotland thing, he went over to Ireland, and he was proclaimed High King of Ireland in 1315, and then crowned in 1316. And then he was eventually defeated by the Anglo-Irish. So when the English came back, they're like, "Nah, we don't like what's going on." Blah blah blah. Now, the English during this time where we got killed, the English retook control of the Isle of Man from the Scots in 1315, right when Ed was the High King, and he created the Southern Scotland and reopened England and blah 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 blah. And this is where the people of Ireland were like, "Hey, we kind of liked it better when the English was ruling." Just because Robert was cool, Edward was nuts, because during his time period, there was devastation, because he loved to war. There was devastation after devastation after devastation after devastation, and then a famine. So they were like, "Yeah, thank you for fighting on our behalf. Our lives suck." our lives suck,
Like,
dog.
was this a life worth fighting for?
Exactly. What is going on? So, question for y'all. Again, I'll start with Kar. Play a little game. This scenario, right? We got Robert, national hero of Scotland. Never did no wrong. We got the people of Scotland and Ireland combined that are like, the English fucking with us, but here come. And then you got Ed, who thinks he's doing good, but he's only worried about Ed ruining the day. In your life, we'll start with you, Kar. In your life, which one of the three have you been more often than not?
Say me Ed again?
Ed is the one that is trying to do right by things, but is very focused on Ed's agenda and ends up being the devil that you don't know that makes things worse, trying to get his own thing done.
I might be John. I don't know. Might be because there's this thing, and like I don't know if it's like, like my bravado or anything. I'm just hyping myself, but it's just that thing where it's like I can lead y'all to the promised land if y'all just like let me. Like I can help y'all out if y'all just like shut up and listen to me real quick. Like I can get this done. Like I'm not gonna put y'all into the pits of hell. I'm not gonna set y'all up. I would rather do that myself than bring a busload of people to bad shit with me.
Right.
So trust, if I am doing this, it's for the betterment of all of us.
That's real.
I be feeling like Ghost. I be feeling like Ghost in Power sometimes.
Great reference.
Yeah.
Great fucking reference. 20. You go before I add mine. I like that. Okay. Where you at, 20?
You know what? I don't know, man. I feel like, man, it's just like, I'm going with. I have to go with John, because it's like, even though you know both of them, like you said, it's supposed to be the one you don't know, and Ed is the evil that you don't know that turned out to be bad. Damn, that's a difficult question, man.
I know, like you gotta be honest. Like, are you the person in the middle that like is just constantly you're constantly responding to whichever devil? Are you the bad devil? Are you the one that like
I think I'm the person in the middle, man.
You're the people.
I feel like I'm the people, bro. I feel like, and I say that because there's no definite side I would like to choose.
Right.
But I feel like majority of the time I'm the people, man. I'm the one that has to, that'll Tai Chi this evil over here and make it go which way that I need it to go to, as opposed to thinking like, damn, what kind of self-defense do I need to use for this one? I don't know what's gonna, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned out to be bad. Then I'm like, do I go back to this evil and test it?
You kind of sitting there like, let me see what side plays out.
Yeah, how it play out.
Right?
So, you know what? I could agree with that. I could agree with that perspective too, because if you got Godzilla and Mothra fighting right there, it's like, I'm gonna wait and see who's on top. I'm like, hey, woo. I'm like Beyonce in the stands. Woo.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's like, you know what? Godzilla just trying to be left alone, and if he's provoked, he's gonna fight. These motherfuckers is just tearing up the earth. You know what I'm saying? I want
Godzilla very much so is the devil you know. Godzilla be destroying the shit out of
bro. He's the devil you know.
The hell out of the city, but they cooled it because he's fighting other monsters.
Exactly. Like word. Hey man,
it's like once the monsters are done, Godzilla goes back and chill. But once the monsters Godzilla, I don't care who's in my way. I am destroying everything.
Now it's time. Now I'm up, guys. No, that's real. I appreciate that because I'm actually being real. Because I'm more like, I believe you, Kar, actually, that you are the older brother. I actually believe that. Like today, like, look, I'm a national hero, really. Like I'm the national hero. I'm gonna do right by my people. That's it. That's all it is. Like discernment. Then you got Edward, who I think I'll add my thing, but I think Edward was like saw his brother, and I think that actually was a part of why he was the way he was. You feel what I'm saying? Like he wants to be like his brother by any means necessary. It probably had nothing to do with the people of Scotland. For real. It didn't have much to do with it.
Might just been hating.
Yeah, like, I just want to like be like my brother and be the man. And I'm saying it's for the best of everybody, but it's like to conquer. Like I just want to conquer. Right. It reminds me the Accords. What was it called? From Civil War. The Marvel joint. Yeah, it's like, and I am the devil you know. I'm England in this scenario where it's like, I'm not the gaps that come with me. Know them. Just know them. Just all I ask is you know the gaps that come with me, because they're never like, it's like the building falling on your car. If I'm fighting in the city, like, do you think I shot the building so it could fall on your car? No. Now, I'm not constantly fighting so that we're in constant disarray. No, I'm not that. But like, I gets to it. I'm active. I'm going to go do the thing. I'm waking up. If I got to get woke up, you shouldn't have woke me up. I'm Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can honestly admit that, like, I'm the devil you know. I'm the devil you know at all times. All right. Appreciate y'all going.
You know, what's up? Damn, Mario, you just...
What did I do?
I think
he said, now you say it like that.
I'm just saying, man.
Because with me personally, when you're talking about gaps, bro, like, it's like my gaps never change.
That's what I'm trying to say, dog. I'm pretty consistent.
Never change. Like, if you, I feel like you can jump over them. They're not too wide where you get consumed by them. It's like a situation where if you know where they are, you would never have to be afraid of them. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not, that's my intent isn't a malice intent, but I am aware that I am flawed, but it's not, these flaws aren't purposely to intent harm.
Yeah. And that, bro. Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of like somebody looking at me, like somebody on the outside looking in at me. I feel like I'm more like that. But me personally, I'm just like I'm in that middle, like, man, like still having that personal imbalance battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it can be a little bit, everybody on the outside can have a little more casualties because I'm still fighting these personal battles. You get what I'm saying? Might be a little more casualties on the outside. Yeah, your car is destroyed, but you still have your life.
You have your life, dog. Like, that was the point. That was the point of me, like, showing up.
Right. But if you want to argue me about your life, your car, all right.
Go for it. I will only say 3 times. I'm not the person that's not going to say I saved your life. I'm going to say that. Like, that's what I'm going to say that.
You need to know. Yes. What? Like, what?
I'm going to say that.
I'm going to rub that in your face.
Yes. Like, if you come to me about your car, I'm going to say I saved your life. I'm not going to, I will, okay.
Like, I'm not going to be a dick about it.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Let's find a way to get you a new car, but it's your car is like that because you were going to die. And so would you rather be dead or crushed car.
Let's like literally, let's make it black and white. Let's make it black and white.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
You know,
gosh.
I gotta start gaslighting people. You mad about the car? Like
exactly.
Why are you doing that to me? You're attacking somebody that saved your life.
And Car, that's the flaws that I still have.
Because I'm saying that.
Flaws that I still have.
I'm saying that, dog. I'm saying
right.
that. All right. I rock with y'all, man. Look, let's jump to the 19th century, 1857. A novel called Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. In that novel, the actual phrase was identified. So it took until the 19th century for how we say it in today's episode. It was written down, printed, so popular enough to print. And it was better the devil you know than the devil you don't is an old saying and perhaps a true one, but the bishop had not yet realized the truth of it. Now, that's from an excerpt from the novel. Now, let me tell you about Anthony Trollope real quick, because he cool guy, and the only reason why I'm calling him cool guy, very boring, but because he did this. He was an English novelist and civil servant of the Victorian era. He's amongst his best-known works is the series of novels collectively known as the Chronicles of Barchester, which include like this Barchester Towers. It's a imaginary country, and he gave a fuck about this imaginary country so much that he used it to speak on political, social, and gender issues, and then other topics and matters that of the time. Now, he also wrote a travel book focusing on the experiences in the U.S. during the American Civil War titled North America. And during his time in America, he remained a steadfast supporter of the Union, and he was a committed abolitionist who opposed the system of slavery as it existed in the South. That's the only reason why we're going to talk about Anthony Trollope. Otherwise, very boring white man, but he was an English man that opposed slavery, and I will mention that every chance I get on this show because we talk about white people so much that it's like they're probably racist. I got to call out the ones that was active enough to not be racist.
Yeah, allies. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Has to be done. Now,
you're right about that.
Back to this novel. So, again, he references the bishop had not yet realized the truth of this phrase that we're talking about. So, Barchester Towers is about a clergy in a fictional cathedral fake town. The bishop died, right? And he expected his son to take over. But another bishop actually got the spot because it was within his jurisdiction. His wife started to abuse her influence because he got, the title. And she started making her husband do stupid stuff. And everybody started to hate them. And because of this, they both vetoed the reappointment of another bishop who was popular. Like everybody loved this guy. And he was like, yeah, we're not bringing him back. And so the town even hated him more. And a bunch of backstabbing started at this point. Now, after all the backstabbing, and it's going, story of backstabbing, like different names, blah, blah, blah. Look it up if you want to. It leads to the death of the dean of the cathedral. So now another higher up, right? And then
somebody got a stray?
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn, y'all messy as hell. Now the man of the man got to go.
Dang.
And so the perfect candidate to replace him was voted by the people after someone that was rightful for the place didn't want to take it. He was like, I don't want it, but I want it. So the people voted in a perfect candidate. And then everything was happily ever after. That's what it accompanied the city and the town. Everything was great. So Barchester Towers ends with the happily ever after. Devil you knew. Y'all, do y'all see that as and you hinted at this a little bit before, early in the episode, Carl. That's why I got kind of excited. Is the devil you knew, because Barchester Towers, the novel, references this, and it basically hints at the bishop didn't know that it's the devil you know that is going to save the town. Mm-hmm. It ended up being that, and happily ever after. Do you find that as the truth? Is that typical? That it ends up better?
Oh, man, I got mixed feelings about that just because it's I agree at the end of the day because it's you got your contingency. You're prepared for that when it's somebody when it is the devil you know, because it's the whole case of the scorpion and the frog thing. You know, why was this person carrying I'm a scorpion. You knew that. The frog should have been prepared for the scorpion. The frog should have probably took some antibiotics or something. So when the scorpion stabs, it's gonna be I was prepared for you, devil. It's kind of like that, and I feel I don't want to have a jaded outlook on the world or society or nothing, but it's just kind of the way the world is sometimes. it helps you navigate it a little bit better, because that doesn't necessarily mean that you are like a bad person or you trying to do like some bad shit or you're trying to like undercut somebody or work with. It's also just like protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself and your assets a little bit by like working with somebody that you know isn't gonna screw you over, or if they do screw you over, you are prepared for that. It's like I've had to like work with people that I didn't want to work with. I've had to communicate with people that I didn't want to work with or whatever. But I know I did that because it'd be better to deal with them than to go deal with somebody who I have no idea how they're gonna do. I think another side of it is that could lead to some type of I don't think complacency is the word I'm looking for, but just it'll lead you into a place of just like being too comfortable and not being afraid of and being afraid of the unknown. And life is about seeking out the unknown. So I don't know. I think it's about finding a good balance with that. Maybe.
Heard that. 20, where you at with it?
Man, I think you kind of really came across to the point towards the end, man. It's about that balance.
So it's no. Okay, I hear that.
Because you know what, honestly, Mario, it's like it's not saying the reason why I don't like to kind of like give it that happy ending, because then it wouldn't be the devil you know versus the devil you don't. You get what I mean? Some saying in some realm of that, it's got to be something that you don't like.
So it can't be happily ever after.
It can't be happily.
Yeah, you got an ever after, but not a happily.
Yeah, like you can you can still be a slave and not getting whipped. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know?
Yeah, hold on.
Get whipped, you know?
He said you could be a slave and not get whipped.
Niggas that's getting whipped. You feel me? Like, niggas got to get whipped. They
vote in November. Y'all know.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. Like, yeah. Which one of
my birthday is going to suck.
Exactly. Which one of Master Sons you want to take over the plantation? The one that's in charge of the discipline or the one that's in charge of, you know what I mean? Like, you still a slave, though, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you.
That's really good right there.
Damn. Okay.
So it's about that balance,
Stop
man.
my pushback. That stop my pushback.
If you have to deal with that, it's still that balance. You need that balance.
Okay. Heard that. You're coming into, and I'm about to end it here because I don't want to use all y'all's super wisdom without the grading. But I'm hearing that, like, and that's where I'm actually satisfied, because it's the unknown part. It's the unknown part. Like, if you're choosing not to go to the unknown, you're compromising the happily part. Heard that.
Right.
That's what I'm taking. If I'm wrong, y'all can correct me, because we're about to appraise the phrase. Cars like this, 3-part grading scale. Power, impact when it's said or heard. 20 gonna take care of that. Speed, is it eloquent? Is it smooth? Y'all was really kind of going crazy on that at the beginning. I'll take care of that. And then you'll take care of the wild card. That's the guest preference, where however you want to grade it based on before you got on the show, what you heard here, or everything in between. It's an A through F scale. Pluses and minuses count. 20. Power, please.
Oh, yeah, man. I give it a B plus. Only reason why I give it a B plus is because of the changing of the guard. I feel like if it would have stayed like what was it? The evil you know?
The evil thing the evil thing known is best.
Evil thing known is best.
I feel like if it would have stayed at that point, then it would have been A plus. You know what I'm saying? All around, actually. I feel like, just not to steal away from the speed, but I think all around it would have been A plus. But the fact of the matter that it changed kind of takes it away. Obviously, longevity is there. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened with me, not even hearing it, but once I've heard it, it got me intrigued. You know, it got me interested in it to kind of dig deeper in it. So that's why it is on that B plus era for me when it comes to Power, because even if you haven't heard of it, it kind of puts you in a position where either, oh yeah, now I can recollect, or I'm more intrigued.
Man,
so
heard that.
I give it a B plus.
B plus. Stamped into eternity. Speed, man. I'm gonna give it a C plus. C plus. I'm leaning C plus B minus. like Kar said, it's 2 sentences, and I have to deduct for that. The plus and where it would lean towards the B is that it has the same word twice, so like it makes it easier. That makes it easier, and then it's a phrase that like it's smoother to say because you kind of know what's coming when you say it. Like you kind of know how to finish it off. You know what I mean? So that makes it smoother to say. So if it was, like you said, if it was even less letters, even less words, A+. But I think I'm going to go C+ because better is a very long word. So, and they use that twice as well. No, they don't. No, they don't. Once.
I didn't know that.
Trip.
Yes.
But yeah, C+. All right, Kar, where you at with it, man?
Yeah, I feel like I echo how I feel about it in terms of, I like the phrases short, sweet, to the point, because a short phrase encompasses so much, but it being 2 sentences, I feel like it outlays it out for you, everything there. So I would definitely, I'm gonna say B because I still like it even with the 2 sentences. I'm gonna give it a B- just because I heard the evil one first.
Yeah. No, that's valid, man. That's about. I think around the B area for everything, and it kind of let you down when it comes to the speed and the power. But like when you put everything back together, it kind of gets you back up to that mid-range B area, BC area. So
yeah. I think what the investigation of it, and then really because what we ended up doing. It's like, damn, it's so real to life. Like not to say the happily ever after part is real, but like it's such a real life phenomenon. Like some of the other things are not. They just are like great minds thinking like it's not a real life phenomenon. Like you're not experiencing that. You're not. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. You're not.
Yeah, that's how I felt about that one.
Yeah. Like you're not experiencing that shit. But like this one, you've experienced this. Whether you've played whatever role you play, because we all talk about the different roles we play, whatever, you've experienced this one. So I fuck with it, man.
Once you get past the devil part, then kind of like realizing that it's not saying Beelzebub person.
Out over here, dapping up Baphomet.
Exactly.
It's not personally coming at you. You feel me? Once you get past that notion, you can definitely relate to it if you just had any real experience in life.
Absolutely.
I think.
Man, we made it, y'all. We made it. All right, we got one more thing to do. Really, 2 more things to do before we get out of here. The first thing is PEZA 24.
The dictionary of misinformation.
All right, Kar, this is some people might say the best part of the show. What we do is at the end of each show, man, we ask our guests to give us like a letter. And we use that letter inside of this dictionary that me and Mario found. It's called the Dictionary of Misinformation. And pretty much with that letter, we just give you some information that more or less, more likely, you've been misinformed about. So if you give us a letter, it's a real book. If you could give us a letter, not X, not Z, I want to say, both of those two are out. But if you can give us a letter, we're going to go ahead and get this information for you so we can show you that knowledge is power, my brother.
Do that now?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
W.
Okay, there you go.
Another petty one I see.
Another petty Betty.
Because one day I sat down, I think it was in cursive, when they actually still taught cursive in school.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is it called W because 2 U's are put to...
It should be called double V. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly,
in
but
Germany,
then again, when
it
you
is.
think about it being cursive, I guess. I think someone was just being,
Someone's been lazy with it.
Someone's being lazy. I was like, man, I ain't doing all that curved stuff. Look like nipples. I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing all that. It's for the kids.
Right.
No nipples. Let's put vaginas instead. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, man, in case you're ever outside, and you're in the wilderness, let's clear up whiskey as an antidote for a snake bite. Let's clear this up. Flat out, whiskey actually makes the effects of venom worse.
So
glad you taught me that before I go hiking in the woods and decided to pour some bourbon, decided to pour some fucking Johnny Walker or some fucking Jameson on a fucking snake bite.
Didn't they do that at City Slickers? No, I'm just
Exactly. Alcohol acts as first as a stimulant, which is just the reverse of what one needs when there's a venom in your bloodstream. Then it acts as a depressant, reinforcing the effect of venom, which is also a depressant. So now you're like really drunk. And one may, of course, pour whiskey on the bite itself in the hope that the alcohol content will help sterilize the wound, but this will only inhibit any infection that might result from bacteria. The actual venom, you turning that up when you do that.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff, that's the type of book that I need as a writer. With me writing or whatever, you ever watch a movie and you're like, that wouldn't happen in real life.
No. Yeah, like they did the Home Alone thing. They did yo.
Oh, yeah.
Yo. Science says.
In every movie, you see them pouring just alcohol on their wound.
He touches his doorbell, he will die.
Yeah, don't touch. If he touches doorknob, he's dead, man. He's not just not impacted. He's not just frustrated with the child.
That man is
done. Dog. All right, that's it. Kar, before we get out of here, anything you want to platform? Anything you got going on coming up?
Man, just again, thank you all for having me on here. I do think I was just so excited to be be on the podcast, and I just dove right in to just the conversation. I didn't really get to like tell you guys about like why they even like wanted me on here.
Yeah.
So just so you can check out stuff that I have done, beautiful viewers in the YouTube comments. Definitely check out I'm a writer, I'm a filmmaker. I was a writer on the series Situationships that I was streaming on BET. I developed the spinoff Wingmen that you can find on Tubi, which is a guy's dating type show. How to move around from there. That allowed me to move on to other projects. More recently, I was a writer on the Keke Palmer series, Psychological Evolution of Fuckboys. You can check that out on Key TV Network. You can follow me on socials, Kar Logan, across all platforms, Twitter, Instagram. I just recently decided to hop on like Threads and TikTok and stuff. But yeah, I'm a writer, filmmaker. If y'all ever want to check out my stuff, look at me through there. You can check out my website, karlogan.com, that has a link to like maybe everything else I've done. I'm always looking to collab and work with other people, especially like these gentlemen right here. You know what I mean? So if y'all ever want to reach out again, let me know. If anybody's in the comments want to reach out and want to work with me, let me know, man. I'm always open to collab and do some stuff. If you've been paying attention to this episode, I'm going to go with what I want to do first, then think about now.
Exactly. Your idea will be read.
Yeah.
My dog.
You will get the red notification.
Exactly. You will see it. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure, dog.
Other than that, man, that's really it. Just real humble, chill dude. I just like to work and create. I'm still climbing. Currently, I'm in pre-production for a slasher that I'm doing right now. I'm doing a black slasher movie, reminiscent of Scream, set in place in that universe. So stay tuned for that. You could follow me to keep updated with that and how you guys can support and everything like that.
Man, let's do it. Let's make sure we turn it up.
Cameos, let us know, man. If you need some cameos, brother, let us know.
Man, let's get it, man. Look, let's get it. No, I see the promos, dog. I see the videos. Like, y'all are taking your time to actually write some sketches, dog.
Yeah, no, we are.
Like, I appreciate everything. Y'all did the Snowfall joint. Y'all did American Gangster. I'm dying laughing. I think it was season 2 promo. That shit had me dying because everyone kept using the phrases. Yeah. That girl was like, I'm just trying to bite my cake and eat it too. He said, all right. That's actually like, y'all wrote that out, took the time to edit and put it yeah, I'm down to collab with shit.
Oh, man, well, y'all know how we do. I'm a devil, so I'm going to make some action out of this. I really fuck with Kar, though. I fuck with Kar heavy. Appreciate you, man. We're definitely going to have you back on. Y'all, you're talking to 3 guys that do what they say they're going to do. So I'm excited about that. What you got for us, dog?
Whew. Listen, man, it's going to get tough, man. It's going to get tough on you in life. But just like we just said, man, you want to try to pick your battles. Pick your battles, man, and you'll be surprised how much of the war you're actually winning when you're picking the right battles. So,
That's like 3 of them today, man. Between the two of you fellas, all I have to say is that we are brought to you by the Underdog Podcast Network, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube for the visuals, man. PraiseThePhrase.com, PraiseThePhrase.com/shop for things. These for the kiddos dropping soon. Probably start working that campaign when this episode drops, man. So just appreciate y'all. And always remember that value is in the eye of the appraiser. We'll check y'all next week.
Peace.